Welcome to this week's weekly installment of the Watson Family Memories. We have gathered before you today to share with you some of our finest memories. It was a dark, cold December evening when we had just gone on a family trip down to Georgia, and my father had become very ill in the meantime. And one night it had gotten to the point where we needed to call the ambulance to come take him away. As he made his way outside to the ambulance, the jeans that he had thrown on in a hurry, apparently he did not fasten very well, and they fell to his ankles as he walked out into the cold evening air. And his underwear and behind were out for all to see, and it gave us quite the humorous relief we needed in such a stressful time.
On a different note, a couple of my favorite memories come around when I was pregnant with my children. When I was pregnant with Becca, Jacob would always come up and hug my stomach. And if anyone would ask him, "Where's the baby?" he would come and lift my shirt and kiss my stomach and pat his little sister inside. But then, when down the road a few years, along comes Nathaniel. We weren't quite sure how to tell Jacob and Becca that we were expecting again. But when we did, Becca started crying. She wouldn't say anything, she just kept crying. And I felt bad thinking, okay, she's upset that she's no longer the baby. But then later we were going out to somewhere, and she said, "Mommy, you know how you've always said that sometimes you cry because you're happy? Now I know what you mean." And then we all wanted to cry.
My story goes back to about 1996, and Rebecca was about a year old, a little over a year, and Jacob was about year 2.5 years old. And Mrs. Watson was teaching at a school, and we noticed that Rebecca was acting kind of strange when we would drop her off at the nursery at the school. And after a while, we figured out that she was being mistreated in the nursery, and we were not sure what to do about the situation. And we prayed about it, and we ended up coming down to SMCA. That's where we first started, and I think Mrs. Crawford was in ninth grade then, and that was a turning point in our family's life because we were at a small Christian school. It was like a family, and we knew it was a safe school. People there loved, my children, took care of my children, and from there, Jacob has gone through all his years, and Rebecca is now a senior, and now Nathaniel in fourth grade. And just how God takes something that is terrible, but how He turns it around and uses it for His glory. I have had a chance over the years to minister to a lot of young people at SMCA, going on retreat, substituting, and just being there. And Mrs. Watson has had the privilege of teaching you guys and also ministering. So God has taken something bad and used it for good, and the Watson family is very thankful.